welcome to this video. I am Ann Huber, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I represent Stampin' Up! And I live here in the state of Ohio. Our January hostess code is listed right here. My contact information is right here. But let's get to the important stuff of what's going on in the month of January with Stampin' Up! First off, I want to make sure everybody knows that this beautiful catalog is still in effect until April, the end of April of this year. Right now, we have this mini catalog that started in January 4th to be exact, through June of this year. And the most important thing is SaleaBration. That's what everybody looks forward to every year. And it's our biggest promotion of the year. And during this promotion, for every $50 you spend, you get something free out of this catalog. So let's just take a look at some of the items. Like, for example, right here, Island Vibes. It's a stamp set, and it's free with a $50 order. We have some paper here that's free with a $50 order. You look at this little circle right up here, and it tells you. We have this Catching Butterfly set, Driving By. I'm going to go a little bit fast here. We have some more paper here. This Simply Marvelous paper I will be using tonight in the project that I'm going to make. These adorable otters. They're super cute. Now we have a couple items free with a $100 order. We have this Friendly Hello stamp set with the coordinating papers. And then we have the Special Moments. Look at this huge sentiment set. A must for all stampers because it has a sentiment for every occasion. That's free with a $100 order. And then if you choose to host a get-together this month and you have sales of $300 or more, you'll get this free Calming Camellia stamp set in addition to your regular hostess gifts. So let's get to the very first project I want to demonstrate. Well, it's the only one I'm going to do on this video. And on this video, I'm going to be demonstrating this set right here. It's called Amazing Silhouettes, is the stamp set. And then it also comes with the Amazing Thanks dies. So let's take a look at that. Here is the Amazing Silhouette set. It's just 3 stamps in it. I'll be using them tonight to make a project. Let me set that a little bit aside. And then let's look at these dies that come with it. The dies is what kind of interest me, to be honest with you. And if you purchase them both together, the stamps and the dies, you get a 10% discount. And the two of them together are $44. So that's just under $50. So you just need to order $6 more, and you'd have $50 to get something for free. So let's look at these dies, though. These dies are very interesting. They cut out the words, "You are amazing" and "thanks." And they cut them out by giving you a background, like a shadow die, and then the detailed die. Like, for example, this is the background of Amazing. And then this is the detailed set of Amazing. So to make it clear to you, I already did some, so let me show you what they look like. So I did these with the shadow, the background in black, and then the detailed in white. Now, these will work for a lot of things, if you ask me. So it says, you are amazing, and then this says thanks, but you can easily just cut off that S, and you have thank, and then you can add the U to it if you want to say thank you. You can just use the word amazing only. So there's a lot of possibilities with these, and I like to get a lot of them already done. Like, you know, if I don't really have a card in mind to make and I just feel like messing around in my craft room, I might come down and make some of these. Now, I've also made some in some other colors. They don't have to be black and white, but I just know that black and white will come in handy for a lot of my projects. So I made some also with the background black and then with the Highland Heather. And I'll show you how easy these are to put together. So here is the thanks And all you really have to do is I'm going to turn the thanks over here. And I'm going to put just a little bit, just touch the tip of my glue. Just like that. Maybe a little bit more up there. And then if it fits, once you get the left side going, the whole right side just comes together like that. And then it's not a bad idea to take like a little piece of paper and press it like this. I put the paper there so that I don't get my fingers all inky. And so that's how easy those go together. And they just really make a nice impact. So before I get to the project we're going to do tonight, let me show you the other things that I've made with this cool stamp set and dies. So you can see how this stamp set really works. Hopefully they're all in the picture here. The butterflies are so pretty. I love the tone on tone. So let me show you what we're going to do today, okay? This is what I'm going to show you how to do tonight. And it's called a floating image card. Now, just looking at it, it looks pretty. I mean, hopefully you'll think it looks pretty. But I want to show you how it does something special. And it's called a floating image. So when the recipient, first off, the recipient opens it, you'll see a spot right there to write another sentiment or just write your own words or whatever, like if we make this a thank you. And then the recipient can just slide it right underneath this little section here, and then this image floats out in front. So this one's in Highland Heather, and this one's in So Saffron. So let's kind of tilt those up a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about there. You see, so when they stand, they'll stand nice and easily, like on somebody's desk or mantle or whatever, and I think it makes a very stunning card. So let me put those aside and let's get started. So first, this is a piece of pool party paper, and it is cut 5.5 by 8.5, and then it's scored at 4 1/4, 6, and 7 3/4. So if you're kind of new to all this, you might want to know, what does that mean? So let me get out my cutting and scoring. Now, this is my cutting blade, so I'm going to put it way up there, get it out of the way so I don't use that by accident. That would be horrible. So I then lay this in here, and it says I'm supposed to score it at 4 1/4, 6, and 7 3/4. So here we go at 4 1/4. I put it right there. Use my scoring blade and score back and forth. Then I need to open up my arm here and just move this over to 6 and score it at 6, and then move it over to 7 3/4 and score it for the last time at 7 3/4. So then this is what we call a mountain fold. This is a mountain fold, and this is a valley fold. Let me put my tool away here because it takes up a lot of room. And let me get out my bone folder here. So first off, get that nice and scored. Get this second one nice and scored. And then this one nice and scored. Okay. I'm going to put that away for just a little bit. Show you some other things that we need to have cut. Okay, and also in Pool Party, this is some of our Simply Marvelous paper. It is free with a $50 order right now. And let me show you all the pretty papers that come in here. The colors are Balmy Blue, Basic Gray, Blushing Bride, Bumblebee, Coastal Cabana, Ferdy Flamingo, Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Misty Moonlight, Pool Party, Smoky Slate, and So Saffron. So this side all has the lighter colors of each of those that I just mentioned. And then the other side has the darker colors. Like this is basic gray and smoky slate together. This is Pool Party and Coastal Cabana together. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So look at all these pretty papers. It'll last you forever. I'll show you some more things to do with this in upcoming videos. So you need 2 of these, and I chose the Pool Party, and they're cut at 1.5 by 5 1/4. Okay. Then out of Coastal Cabana, we need 3 pieces. We have a 5 1/2 by 1 1/4, 4 3/4 by 2 1/2, and this little 2 by 2 piece. Put those aside for a little bit. And then in the white, we have 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. We have a 1 by 5 1/2 and 2 1/4 by 4 1/2. Now, I took little liberties. Now, this one's going to be our feature focal point, and I did already stamp that in Pool Party right there, okay? Just to get that stamping out of the way. So I'm going to set that aside for just a little bit. And then I already got our sentiment ready. The background is Coastal Cabana, and then the word thanks is in Pool Party. And I put that together already. So let's see how this goes together. So we're going to put this here. And the first thing I want to do is these 2 pieces kind of go on the inside, and they need to have a little bit of stamping on them. Not too much, but a little bit of stamping. So we're going to get out our butterfly and then our leaf silhouette. So we're using all 3 stamps in this card. So this little piece right here, we are going to get our Pool Party out. And we're going to stamp like right in the middle here. And we want to kind of fill this whole space. And I'll fill up the space up here then. Okay, so while I have this out, our inside piece here, I'm also going to stamp a little bit right up here of those leaves. Now, obviously, this does not have to be done exactly the way I'm doing it. I'm going to get out our butterfly now, and I'm going to stamp the butterfly down here. So, this is going to be our inside piece. So let me turn that over. Come on, glue. There we go. Oops, it's got a little glob there. And I'm going to put that right there. Now this piece right here, I'm going to mount on the Coastal Cabana piece. And it's the piece that is 5 1/2 by 1 1/4, so it's just slightly wider. They're both the same length. Let me get those 2 put together. Okay, and it's going to go right there, but I can't just adhere it down. I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals, and I'm just going to put the dimensionals right out here so it's elevated a little bit. That gives us that little spot to slip the other piece underneath. So there's a couple ways to do this. I like to use the strip that's on the edge of my dimensionals. Just works perfect for this. So I think I will put some like right there. And I put some right there. Okie doke. And I will then adhere this right. It's going to go right to the edge. Okie doke. And then so this, kind of see what's going to happen here. This slips right underneath. Just like that. Of course, it's not behaving for me. There we go. It will. Okay, so let's do the front now. So the front, we need these two pieces right here. But before we do that, we're going to take this little piece that's 2 by 2, and off screen, I'm going to cut it down the middle one way and score it down the middle the other way, okay? I'll do that off the screen here. It's 2 by 2. And I'm going to score it at 1 inch and then cut it at 1 inch. So I'm going to have these two little pieces. These two little pieces that are, let's see, that'd be 2 inch by 1 inch. And then they're going to fold. This is going to be our little mechanism for popping up that centerpiece, and it's going to go right here. And we want to do it before we put down these marble pieces. And I don't always use liquid glue. I do like adhesives. Oopies. And I'm going to put these right next to each other, right about like that. Doesn't really matter, a little higher, a little lower, it doesn't matter. I'll show you how this is going to work in a little bit. I do, though, kind of like to turn it like this, though, and make sure that they're lined up just perfectly like this. Just perfectly. See, I got some wiggle room there, so hold it there for just a second. I'm going to set that aside then. And another thing I can get ready now is the focal point that I stamped earlier. I'm going to mount on Coastal Cabana. So if you recall, this is the piece that is 2 1/4 by 4 1/2. And then this Coastal Cabana is the piece that is 4 3/4 by 2 1/2. So that's going to go together there. So we'll mount that on there. Set that aside for just a little bit. So let's bring this back in now. That should be getting dry. And it's really nice to do this before you adhere these two marbled papers because they're going to kind of cover up some of that mechanism. See how that works? So let's get both of these. Now you can choose to use whatever side you want of this paper. They coordinate. They both have the pool party and the Coastal Cabana. So the colors will coordinate just fine. So let's put this piece right there. And we will put this piece right there. Let me get that all pressed down now that I like where it is. I kind of gently lay it down to make sure I really like where it is. Then this piece can go right there. So that's going to be what kind of pops it out. So we're going to put some So there, we're very close to done. Very close. We'll see how this just slides under like that. So really, I do believe the only thing we have left to do is to add this little embellishment of these thanks right here. And you can kind of put them straight across or at an angle, whatever you want. I think I'm going to do an angle like this. Okay, now obviously it's still a little bit wet everywhere, so I'll have to let it dry a little bit. But there we go. So it says thanks. It will lay completely flat for mailing. There's room on the inside to write your message of thanks to whoever the recipient is. And that's it. I hope you liked it. Now before I leave, I just want to put this back out one more time so you can see my name, my email address, Stampin' Up! Website, and the January hostess code. Thank you for joining me, and stay tuned for the next video, please.